Okay. Rhonda, please say your complete name for me.
Yes, Rhonda Clayborne-Gosa, Gosa.
Wonderful. I've got the pleasure of speaking with Rhonda Close.
Gosa. Gosa.
I got the pleasure of speaking with Rhonda Gosa.
Yes, sir.
Rhonda, please tell me what your health concerns were before you were introduced to Mito.
Oh, Lord. Prior to being introduced to Mormito, I'm a veteran. I did serve in a war. I came back home with brain fog. I had PTSD. So I had a lot of memory issues, recalling things. Why am I here? Why did I go there for? As well as aches, joint pain, and just feeling kind of unhealthy. And a
Okay.
friend of mine,
Well, tell me more about the PTSD.
or the PTSD, yes, I didn't know I had PTSD. All I knew was I came back to what we call the real world, the USA, and I
Hmm.
was having these feelings of aggression and didn't understand why.
Hmm.
So I went down to the Detroit VA hospital where I was living at the time, and they said, if you need help, seek help. And they told me I had an appointment for 3 months later. And I told the young lady that wasn't good enough because I see myself getting in trouble and I don't understand what I was going through personally. Long story short, I made a little noise. My mama was brave enough to come out and ask me what did I need. And I told her I need help because I have these feelings I've never had and I'm not understanding why I'm aggressive and I'm afraid I'll be in jail by that night
Hmm.
for my aggression and just not understanding the symptoms of PTSD. You can always say post traumatic stress disorder, but what does that all entail?
Right. So take me back. What was the trauma, if you don't mind
The
sharing?
trauma was serving in war. I went to the Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm back in 1990 to 91 in the Middle East. We started in Saudi Arabia. We jumped to Iraq later, uh, ready for war, real bullets and everything. And just being that close to the Iraqi army and wondering why they're not shooting me, I'm right there and I could see them, they could see me. They were instead shooting above our heads to hit our tank, our artillery,
Hmm.
those that equipment that could do them the most damage. They wasn't worried about us. So just hearing that, hearing people screaming, I've never seen so many dead women and children on the side of a road. Imagine I-95, north and south, nothing but bodies, dead women and children. And I'm thinking, where are the men? And why are these women and children dead? Where are the men? Well, the men were told fight or they will kill their families. So that's why there were so many women. They were left alone with nothing to eat. So I
Hmm.
came back. It was just a lot of things I saw I should have never saw. There were a lot of things that went against, in the military, you're not supposed to shoot anything red. Red includes ambulance, a church, things like that, schools. But during the times of war, all those rules go out the door and you do what you need to do to survive.
Hmm.
So seeing what I saw, smelling what I saw, hoping I can help one child on a school bus, only to look through the school bus and see that the children have been long dead, the maggots, throughout their eyes, nose, ears, things like that. And seeing the Iraqi soldiers dead on the side of the road and just thinking that could have been me.
So, Rhonda, what type of unit were you in?
I was in the third. It started off as the 24th Infantry Division, which is Fort Stewart, Georgia, and Hinesville, but
Hmm.
they changed it to the third Infantry Division.
Hmm.
And I've been out for a while, so I'm not sure if they changed the name again.
Okay. I'm trying to understand. You were attached to an infantry unit, but were
I was
you in
attached to an
infantry?
infantry unit.
Were
I
you
was
in
communicating.
infantry? Were you?
No, sir. I was attached to an infantry unit. I provided communications for infantry.
Okay.
I laid the wires. I was communication receiving and sending classified documents, things like that. If the tankers couldn't get a message, I would get in a helicopter, go get what I needed to get for them secretly, and make sure they got it so they know distance and directions. So that's what I did. And through doing that, I actually ended up on the front line. I had to deliver some equipment that was broken down.
Hmm.
And when I did that, I saw the Iraqi tanks lined up and my soldiers lined up. And they were like, hold your ears. And I heard this boom and I saw it hit an Iraqi tank. And I'm like, wow. So, like, you guys are like right across from each other, just shooting each other. And it was Amazing experience. Also, just a lot of unfortunate scenarios.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So so bring me forward.
Bring you
You're,
forward.
you're in the United States now.
I'm back in the United States.
Someone
I
introduces you to more mito.
more my toe, my back pains that I suffered.
Mhm.
We had to sleep in the foxholes. We had to do what we need to do to survive. So upon coming home, it was actually what do they call it? Culture shock for me. Because you're
Mhm.
expected to be welcomed back to your home country. And Pete, we were told that we were contagious, that we had diseases, that we had received two secret shots, which we did receive two anonymous shots. So with those shots, a lot of soldiers had seizures. I myself have seizure disorder. So I came back with a lot of disorders I didn't have. I had bumps on my arm. My hair was falling out. I used to be able to run 6 miles. I was the one to go up and stop the cars, let my whole battalion run by, and I would catch up because I had long legs. Next thing I know, I could not run 3 steps without regurgitating blood. I was having a lot of symptoms, constipation, diarrhea. It's like my body was totally off from being over there with the radiation and such. So, should I mention her name, the young lady that introduced me to Marmito? Would that be okay?
Sure.
Jessica Lewis, she introduced me. She told me about Marmito. She says, this sounds like Marmito would be a good product for you because you're talking about memory fog. And I would actually be talking with her and totally forget what I was going to say. So taking it forward, that's just one example. My knees. Next thing I know, I'm talking to her. I'm remembering everything clearly.
Okay.
There's no guessing. That is a wonderful feeling to not feel lost in your words.
So Ron, how far into being on mito did you begin to see those changes begin to happen?
I would say for me personally, for my brain fog, about 2 weeks. But for my knees and my backs, and I had that pep in my step, about a week.
Mhm.
I learned about mitochondria and how it's really all on the inside of your body. And most things that are really helpful for us do start within our bodies, inside our bodies. So we
Mhm.
have to take care, like the mitochondria, the mito. The drops is what really did it. But
Mhm.
I'll tell you, I had a hemorrhoid, and
Mhm.
the Ultramodel Renew that worked well. I was telling Jessica,
Renew is the capsules, rejuvenated
Renew
the
is the
gel.
capsules, yes, sir. The actual drops, the 3.0 drops, is what helped me with my memory.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I had more clarity. I wasn't as confused. I felt more confident going out speaking to people again.
Mhm.
And the Renew tablets helped my hemorrhoid. I was telling Jessica, I
Mhm.
asked her, is it normal to feel a little warm down there? And she asked me, what do you mean? I says, well, it just feels like a little warm sensation. And what that was doing, my hemorrhoid disappeared. I mean,
Okay.
literally disappeared.
Mhm.
I hate to sound dumb or stupid, but I had to check because I'm like,
Mhm.
where'd it go?
Yeah.
Really, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, and I had bad knees. My right knee always wants to like just give out when it feels like it.
Yeah.
Spring. So also I have the Ultra Mito
Yeah.
Rejuvenate 2.0. That's
Mhm.
wonderful for my knees,
Yes.
my back as well.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of benefits I did receive
Mhm.
in using Mito. I just want
Okay.
to thank you.
Okay. Talk to me about the emotional side, the PTSD symptoms and all of that.
The emotion side, I take a lot of medication, and when I was forgetful, my spouse would make sure all my pills were done. I would get them mixed up and cause myself to become ill. So with me taking a lot of pills, introducing Mito into my system, I'm now taking less pills. For instance, flashbacks. That's a terrible thing. You could be anywhere. You could be in a movie theater. You could be in your house speaking to your grandchildren. They have no idea I've left the building. My body is here, but my mind is in Iraq, and I'm looking for one of my soldiers. I'm looking for my soldier and can't find my soldier. Just
Mhm.
like that, and then someone will say, "Are you okay?" And it brings me right back. That was a huge problem. I don't deal with that anymore. What else? Just fearful of being around people. I still have a problem going out in public. I have to make sure I know where all the exits are. I have to make sure, like I was at a restaurant. and there was a gap between the tables, and I saw these young men looking a little shady. So I sat in the back table, which means my back was to the wall. No one could come to the left, to the right, or in front of me without me seeing them. So I do still have those military habits where I need to make sure that where the exits are and that I can get out safe. I don't like crowds. I'm afraid. I'm fearful of being caught somehow falling or just being harmed. So I don't like 4th of July. The fireworks reminded me of some of the weaponry that was used during the war, like a lot of loud piles and psst. So you hear the psst, that's the missiles in the air going somewhere towards me.
PGs and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
So it really seems like once you got back here and once you started on you're regrowing your mitochondria, your body now can start making these changes.
Yes,
And
exactly.
you must feel like you're either growing into a new person or back to yourself.
You know what I say? I said, you call it more me. I say I am now more me toe. I'm more of myself. I'm more of me. So that's what I say when I say to people more me toe. I say I'm more of me these
Yeah.
days because I feel like this is the closest I've been to who I was prior to um, being deployed overseas, and that
Mhm.
was the biggest traumatic experience I've experienced in my life. And being able to just simply trust a person or a child over there, they know the GIs like Pepsi Cola or Coca Cola. So they would take a whole 6 pack, put it out there on the road with a bomb on it, knowing some GIs going to think, ooh, pop, go get it. And boom, there they were. I have an issue with people driving me around. Don't run over anything because it's a bomb. Although I've been out 33, 34 years, I still have that paranoia feeling of don't run over that plastic bag or don't run over that because that's a bomb. So
Mhm.
I'm getting over that. I'm a nervous writer. As I said, I do have seizure disorder and I cannot drive. And my driver, I'm like, don't run that over. Go around. And at first, it drove them crazy. It's been about 8 years now, so we're okay. They know my habits. I know their driving habits. So, but it's just, and I can only imagine some of the other veterans who have things I haven't even spoke on. And I pray that they one day hear of Mito.
Yes. So how long altogether at this point have you been on Mito?
Mito, it's been 3 months, three,
Okay, so
3 or 4 months.
you're still very early in your journey.
Yes, and
You
I'm doing some
have
more of my Mito. It's in the mail now, so I'm
uh,
excited. Yes,
so just by consistently staying on it, using all of them, the restorative brain
yes.
body and the rejuvenate, you can continue to make this progress.
Oh yeah, I plan on continuing to make it a lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle change for me. Instead of, I mean, there are so many supplements we're given that the doctors try to give us. For instance, they try to push psychotropic medications. And for anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's like a mental health drug. PTSD can cause depression. It can cause anxiety, and this calms me down. All the supplements, they were not helping at all. But this is the one thing I have truly and honestly found, and I can say honestly, this product works, and I do recommend this product for
Yeah.
anybody, not just those suffering. Take it before you start suffering.
Well, Rhonda, thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, and thank you for Mito, sir. Thank you so much for
Our
creating.
pleasure. Our
Thank you.
pleasure.
Have a wonderful day.
All right. Now that's where I'll officially end it, but often when I do that, people think of something that they wish they had said or something pops in their mind all of a sudden.
Um, well, not in this case. I'm just waiting on my next order of Mito, so I
Okay.
could
Yeah.
do a little better.
All right. And we got Grace here with us. Grace, anything come to your mind that I should ask or mention or she should mention?
Like
Um,
to ask, how much of the product are you taking, Rhonda?
Well, I'll tell you.
When
I started off. It says I believe 2 drops or 2 drops, but I thought I needed it desperately. So I will tell the truth. I actually took like 4 drops to kind of get it in my system quicker,
yeah,
and
you're
that
supposed
worked.
you're
That
supposed
worked
to
for
you're
me.
supposed to take four. Four is the normal dose.
Yes, so I just wanted to stay in my system, and it's like the first day I began the drops, it was like I'm not getting any sleep. I'm not getting any sleep. But when you notice the benefits, it outweighs the not getting the sleep.
Yeah, you'll
And
need to
What,
take it
excuse me, can I
earlier.
ask a question? When you say drops, are you saying a dropper full, like the 1 milliliter
yes,
full?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you take two in the morning and two in the
I used
afternoon?
to take I used to take four, ma'am, every time four. And when I felt like it was in my system, I followed the directions. It just took, I believe it's two every. It was like every hour, if I'm not mistaken. I would actually follow the directions, but I just wanted it to get into my system good first, and then
So are you telling me you're taking two every hour or you're taking two droppers every, how often?
okay. And when I first received the product,
Mm-hmm.
I take two.
Mm-hmm.
I took four because I wanted to get into my system and work.
Mhm.
I
Right.
feel like my system was so messed up. Now I actually follow the directions because I don't need feel like I need more. I feel like I'm stable, I'm balanced, all this.
Mm.
And
Wow.
just to be clear,
Yes, sir.
on the bottle, it actually is 4 milliliters is the standing dose, standard dose. It is four. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The
Okay.
two is for the capsules.
Yes.
It's two for the capsules and to rejuvenate the cream. It's like
When you
as
need
needed. You can use that as many times a day as you want to.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. So
So you've been very responsive on less. Oh, typically, I mean, it sounds like right now you're just taking two.
I'm
Uh,
just taking two right now because I feel like all I need is two. In the beginning, I felt like I needed it more. And
yeah.
after I read about my mitochondria and how it works in the body, I just felt like I needed that in my system. You know, sometimes your doctor may give you a medication and you
Mhm.
start off taking it heavily and then you go
Yeah.
lower, lower, lower.
Mhm.
That's what I was thinking in my mind.
All right. Real good. I'm so happy you shared. We'll be sharing this with other veterans,
Okay.
and we will have veterans calls.
All right.
And this has been a really, really good interview. I'm a veteran as well.
Okay. Thank you for your service, sir.
All right. Yeah,
Wonderful.
we all need to serve, you know,
Yes, we do.
and we all need to be sensitive to and understand the special needs that people coming back from combat zones in particular have.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest problems I did go through. For instance, the older veterans that served in the Vietnam, they feel like we were treated better. We were welcomed back to the United States more. We were in parades. They didn't get to participate in parades. So I had an incident when I lived in Florida at the VA. Older gentleman from Vietnam in a wheelchair. He looked at me and said, "You're too young to be in a war. You're not a veteran." And he took his wheelchair and he kept bumping me intentionally, bumping me, saying, "You're not a real veteran. You're too young. You're not a veteran. You just babies." And there, a lot of the older veterans are upset with the younger veterans, and that's not my fault. It's not my fault they didn't get the celebratory welcoming that we received upon returning.
Yeah, I'm a Vietnam era veteran.
Yes. Do you feel that way? Well, I don't want to call you out on live, but
No, I don't feel that way. So
okay.
here's the context I would offer you for someone like that, okay?
Okay.
First of all, they're in the VA for a reason, okay?
Yes.
They're
Yes.
not completely well,
Right.
okay? And they have been distressed as you were, but
Right.
they're not over it yet. Okay, they're not on Mito.
Right.
So my observation has been this. Now I'll tell you a story. So I live here in the Washington, D.C. area,
Okay.
and I'm not that far from Andrews Air Force Base, you know, where
Okay.
President Parks is plane and all that.
Yes.
Well, we have a lot of veterans here. Handy Randy Nation. Handy Randy is a good friend of mine. We got a lot of veteran Marines and others services that are here.
Okay.
One of the people that were introduced to me over 60 years ago, so was a way
Ooh.
back veteran, okay?
Yes.
Jumps out of an airplane or a helicopter. It's a parachute jump. Parachute doesn't fully deploy. He
Mm.
knows he's going to die, but he doesn't. He hits the ground and lays on the ground for half an hour. They think he's dead. Why wouldn't he be dead? He just fell out the sky.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so the story goes that he wakes up and he's looking around he's wondering whether or not he's in heaven because he's supposed to be dead.
Right.
So, uh, and he's wondering, so, well, if this is heaven, why is everything looking the same? Okay.
Right. That's a good assumption.
And then so he's trying to figure it out. And then somebody's walking by and he couldn't move. He could move his arm. It was his sergeant. He grabbed the sergeant by the ankle, and the sergeant jumps back because, as far as he's concerned, he's being grabbed by a dead man. Okay.
Right.
So anyway, so they piece him back together and everything. But from that point until the time he encountered Mito through the other veterans, he had a deathly fear of planes.
Yes, I can only
So,
imagine.
right, and why he would live near Andrews Air Force Base, I don't know, because planes are going to be coming, right?
Continuously, yes.
So I asked him, so what would happen, KP, if you went out of your house and a plane came over? He said that panic might seize me, and I run back in the house and hide under the bed,
Yes.
or sit in
I
my chair,
believe
and,
that.
and stay in the house. It would run him back in the house, right?
Right.
It was 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, I say, okay, KP, so what happened? What happened now? He said nothing. I just salute the plane and keep walking.
There you go.
Then I took it further. I said, okay, so KP, what have other people noticed in you? Because I want to understand how his interactions might have changed, with the public. He said the rec center, which is not far from me, that he goes into, the lady at the desk started talking to him. Said, how you doing? You act like a different person. This, that, and no, she's complimenting him, okay?
Right.
So I said, well, how were you acting before versus now? And basically, the difference was he was furtive. He would be looking down and
Yes.
wary,
No eye contact.
yeah, you avoiding eye contact. He was doing all of that, and now he's like heads up. He's more engaging, and people know it. And he said that he stopped cussing his wife out.
Okay.
Okay,
That's a
so
great thing.
yeah, so you were like, so now he kept this 60 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is what I'm saying about your the context in which to understand the older veterans. A lot
Yes.
of them didn't get the care. Not only didn't get the fanfare, they didn't get the level of care.
Okay.
Okay, and certainly most of them have not encountered more Mito at this point.
Right.
So we need to appreciate them where they are and help them by introducing them to this technology. I mean, it must be miraculous to you that you were so
Yes.
trapped, in that dysfunction, and all you had to do was take this stuff and it starts to
That,
unwind.
yeah, but it's amazing how timing is when you feel like you're losing your mind because you can't remember, and it's like j- I mean, I was okay. So when did this start happening to me? And to
Hmm.
relate back to the older veteran you spoke about, KP,
Hmm.
my dad was a Vietnam vet. He came back home sick, and I knew he was sick, but I don't know how. His stomach was swollen, and I found out later, of course, he passed due to they call it stomach cancer. Then they call it what do they call it now? I forget.
Colorectal cancer, probably.
Colorectal cancer. Yes, and I was 9 years old. I was devastated. So
Yeah.
I served my country because my dad, my uncles, most of my male relatives served military.
Hmm.
And I prefer to go overseas and fight the battle over there versus them bringing the war over to these United States, tearing everything up. And a lot of people don't understand that sacrifice.
Yeah. Now, we have another young lady we should introduce you to who had a severe memory problem as well. Her name is Antoinette. She lives here in the Washington, D.C. area.
Okay.
Antoinette was the first lady in D.C. to get a Purple Heart, who was from D.C.
Oh, wow.
And the
Yes.
way she got that Purple Heart is that she was driving her truck in the middle of a convoy with soldiers in the back. They were taking her to the airport. Gets hit by IED.
I think I saw that.
You saw that with her,
Yes, I did. I did.
yeah. And you should play that because it was 2003 that she had that incident happen. And they put it together physically pretty well, but her memory was gone. Her short-term, long-term memory was gone, and that happened. That went on for 17 years.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
then, and then she meets Handy Randy, who
Uh,
came back from Iraq. He was along with you, and then the day that she started taking Mito is the day her memory started to come back. Because
Oh, okay.
she said she would go get in her car to go somewhere and not know where she's supposed to
Where
go.
was I supposed to be going? Yes,
Yeah.
and I also believe in that video. They usually hit the middle of the convoy. I believe she was hurt, damaged, did not know it, and continued to take up her position to defend the
She did.
position.
She did.
That's like a soldier thing. It's
That's
like
it.
innate in us. You just fight to the death, you
Yeah,
know.
your training
And
kicks
that
in.
adrenaline also probably saved her life.
Yeah, and she said the sergeant came to her and said we got to go to take care of you. She didn't realize. She said her jaw had been broken. Her chin was like falling down on her chest. Just about. Her face was all distorted from that.
Power. Are
Yeah,
you there,
she,
sir?
but she got her. Yeah, I'm here. Your video's unfree. It looked like your video had frozen.
Yes, it felt like the power went off for a few seconds. I'm back now.
Okay, yeah. So her progress has been tremendous since she has been able to get on Mito. Memory comes back, and she's able to do things. She started a real estate business, and just
Oh,
was able to carry on with life.
thriving. That's amazing.
Mm.
It's always good to hear because there are so many powers back on. I don't know. I live on an island, so when the weather's bad on the island, we lose power
Yeah.
sometimes.
Where do you live?
I live outside of Savannah on
Okay.
Wilmington Island. It's 10 minutes from Tybee Island.
Okay.
When you're by the water, it's been really extremely windy today, and
Mm.
and the power will go out and come back in a few seconds later, a few moments later.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, but also I wanted to say you mentioned how I think KP the walk with his head down, and
Yeah.
it's not so much as we were really depressed. It's just sometimes we don't know what to say. And sometimes people ask questions that we felt very uncomfortable asking. Yes, I have like an indentation in my head where I was in an accident while in the military serving in Germany. A large tent pole, the center pole, hit
Yeah.
me in my head. So I've
Wow.
actually had several traumatic episodes of being hit in my head. I had several neurologists and they would just push these pills, and I'm like, these aren't doing anything. The Mito, it's like, where has it been all my life? But it's a process of going through what you're going through to get what you need, and running into people not by accident, but meeting people that put you on a path, like Jessica did for me. She introduced me to Mito, and she told me how it worked for her, and I believed everything she said, and I wanted that. For me, that symbolizes happiness. And now when I go out, I say I'm going out to talk to the people. And what I mean by that, I didn't talk a lot. Now I'm out speaking to everybody. Hello, how you doing? Chatterbug. Because if I feel more confident that I'm not
Yeah.
stuttering, I feel more confident that my words they're flowing smoothly and together and make sense. It's the level of confidence that it does give you mentally. You feel better physically, emotionally. It just builds you up emotionally as well because you just feel better. You feel good. I'm like, I feel good. I'm out there. I learned how to jump rope for the first time. Believe it or not, I'm 63. I never knew how to jump rope, and I'm so happy. I'm trying to learn different things like the vibration machine for balance, and I did like what do you call it? I did like 5 jumps with the jump rope. Neighbors were cracking up, but I'm like, I never knew how to jump rope. So someone taught me that day and videotaped it of me actually jumping a rope 5 times. I could never get it. I got it. So this is a good feeling to know that things you couldn't do, you can now do it. That's all I'm saying. And I'm
Right.
grateful. I'm so grateful for you, sir. All that you do, those who you employ, those who come on and record or interview with you, because I learn we all have somewhat different situations, but when you look at it all in all, it's the mitochondria inside of our bodies. It's the mito. It's the mito. It's the mito that's doing all the work, and the doctors are not going to tell us this. But thankfully for you, the word is definitely getting out. I talk about it all the time. You need to take
Yeah.
this right here, and I send them about mitochondria and how it works, how it begins, what it does, how it rebuilds the cells, and that it actually works, and that I'm most grateful that I was introduced to it and that I took it and it's working. I feel
Well,
better.
I'm really blessed by your presence today. Um,
You're welcome, sir.
I'm so happy to always meet another veteran and share and listen to and be a part of their experiences because I think it makes everybody's life richer to get acquainted with a veteran who's been through trauma.
Yes.
Because just because you were not in that situation uh, doesn't mean you shouldn't fully appreciate those who were. And it's really hard to do unless you get to know somebody, unless
Right.
somebody really shares with you what they went through and how it affected them. It's not a thing to them. Like
Yes.
I was here at Fort Myers, that's in the Washington D.C. area, right across the river from the Pentagon, and the Marine barracks over there. And
Okay.
we would go over there to the PX on their side and on our side,
Yes.
all of that, right? So we parked the car. I was getting out of the car, and there was a young Marine. He probably was a teenager. He wasn't very old at all. But it was very clear that he had been through some kind of trauma because the way we parked and everything, we didn't quite park exactly right. We were in a hurry to run in there, right?
Yes.
He took issue with that, and it was nothing. It's nothing, right? But I
Yes.
understood because we'd seen so many like that, and being in the barracks, we were in the barracks. Some of those veterans had recently come back from Vietnam combat. Like
Yes.
one had gotten captured and tortured, and they
Oh.
would put all kinds of foul things in his food and make him eat it.
Yes.
So somehow or another, we got over there, we got started talking about rice, and I heard this noise. I didn't know what it was, and it was him saying, "Don't talk about rice." And we go, I didn't quite hear us. We were rice. Don't talk about rice. It was like that, and
Yes.
then one of the other veterans explains, no, you can't say anything about rice around because then they explain the story about all the
Yes.
feces they put in the rice and make him eat it.
Mm.
So you cannot imagine the regular people can't imagine that.
No, they cannot.
It is so outside of your experience. There would be
Yes.
no reason for them to think that that person that they're looking at to them just might be acting odd would have a reason like that in their past.
Right.
So anyway, thank you again. I'll let you go.
Quite
Really
welcome.
appreciate it. Thank you, Grace.
Thank you, Grace, as well.
Okay.
Enjoy your day.
All
God
right.
bless. Bye bye for now.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye now.